Across the country, springtime crappie fishing brings out more anglers than any other species, but as the fish move out of the shallow water and into the deeper, the anglers seem to disappear. Hi folks, I'm Russ Bailey, and today I'll be joined by some of the B&M Pro staff members to bring you some of their proven techniques and patterns. This will help you to catch fish not only in the springtime, but all year round. So without further ado, let's get to the water.
Long line trolling is a very productive springtime pattern, especially on Alabama's Weiss Lake. In this section, guide Kelly Matthews will share some of his successful techniques.
Right now, folks, we're going to do a little long line trolling. We're at Weiss Lake, Alabama. This is guide Kelly Matthews. Kelly, how you doing today?
Hi, we're doing pretty good. How you doing, brother? Good.
Thanks for joining us again for the B&M project. Kelly, right now we're going to do some long line trolling, and that's a pretty popular technique here.
Yeah, it starts out in February, and there's a lot of people do it, and it's one of my favorite techniques, and they'll put numbers and quality in the boat. And
what we're going to do, you know, some folks call this flat line trolling, but basically the lines are clear out the back of the boat and off the sides.
Yeah.
And getting that reaction bite.
Yeah, that's right. What it is, these fish are moving up in these bays and suspending, and that's what we're fishing for, is a suspended crappie.
What kind of structure do you look for when you're doing this?
I don't really look for structure. I'm just looking for suspended crappie is what we're mainly looking for.
Okay, and this is the best time of year for it?
This is the best time of year. It starts early February and runs all the way through about the first week of April.
All right, you ready to get started?
Let's see if we can get some in the boat.
Okay. It's early spring, early March, and what we're doing is fishing a little ditch off of a little bay here. It drops down into about 8 foot of water, and that's where we're picking up these fish. Water temperature right now is about 57.5 degrees, so it's just now starting to come up. The fish, they're starting to stage a little bit, haven't really moved under docks or in the real shallows, but working this ditch is producing some pretty nice fish. Kelly, right now for flat lining in the spring, what kind of speeds do you like to concentrate on?
Usually 0.8 to 1.0.
Okay.
And today, or this evening, what we're doing, we're pulling 1/24 ounce, pulling them about 0.9, and they're probably about 5 foot down. We're working this ditch like you said a while ago.
5 foot?
Yeah, this ditch is about 8 to 10 foot deep right in the middle, and we're running these jigs about 5 foot down. Another little thing too is what you want to look for is these little bays, shallow water bays close to the river channel. And that's what happened is you get 2 or 3 days of warm weather, then fish start moving up out of the river channel, and you can come in here and catch them like that. But that's what I look for is bays close to the river channel.
And then any little ditches off of those
seams. Any little ditches, work the center of the ditch is usually where they'll move up in and suspend, right in the center of the ditches.
Okay. Folks, as you can see right now, we're using a high visibility yellow suffix line, and this is really bright. It shows up nice against the water. Where this will come into play is when we bring a fish in, it's going to come up to the top. Well, if you can see the other lines, you can navigate that fish between them, and you won't have so many tangles. What Kelly likes to use, we've got the B&M 8 foot Pro staff poles back here. Another good one for the back of the boat, a little bit shorter, is Buck's Graphite. They make that in a 6.5. That's a good one to use on the back of the boat. But this 6-pound high visibility line, this is awesome for this technique, and again, it just leads to a lot less tangles in a day. I don't think he's one of them 2.5 pound Weiss Lake fish, but I think he may keep. Again, with that high visibility line, it's so easy to negotiate the fish right between your other lines. There we go, another about 11-inch fish. That's about on the average what we've been getting tonight.
Yeah. You was talking about the rods we use off the back. We're using the 8 foot B&Ms up front. We're using the Crappie Wizards B&M Richard Williams series. I like to use the 12 foots up front, then 10s behind it. That gives you 2 foot of offset. You don't have to deal with all the tangled lines. And you can see I got the 12 foot straight out, and I like to tilt that 10 foot back toward the boat a little bit, and that gives you a little bit more line separation right there.
Again, anything to help you with line tangles.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
Another good thing about these rods here, you notice they got the green tips.
Right.
And these bites we've been getting, you just barely see them, and those little green tips, they help out a lot.
Try not to get him in your line here. Oh, that's a nice fish. That is a decent fish right there. You was just starting to turn, wasn't you?
Yeah, he feels like a good fish. I want to put the ego on him.
I will get her ready, buddy. Now, Kelly, if he's bigger than mine, you may not get this in. Oh, that is a nice fish
good
again.
Fish right there, Russ.
Yes, it is.
Real good fish.
Take it right up to you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
That's that new rubber netting, too. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Good
Boy,
fish.
look at that. Full of eggs. Maybe a good keeper.
You know, Kelly, we've moved into a little bit deeper water. We're in about 11 foot. Oh, yeah.
Good keeper fish.
And that deeper water seems to be holding a few more fish for us.
Yeah, it's about a 10.5. Good keeper fish here on Weiss Lake.
And that's a good eating size right there.
Yeah, we moved in a little bit deeper water like I was talking about. We had that cold front to come through last night, and it dropped the surface temp about to 3 degrees overnight. And seemed like we're picking up, we got another fish on right here. See what, it feels a little bit better.
Yeah, that pole's bending just a little bit more this time, Kelly.
May want to put the net on him.
I'm gonna extend the net on out this time. Oh yeah.
Good fish.
There we go.
Good keeper fish. Both of them about identical, about 10.5, 11-inch fish. Good keeper fish right there.
Good one, buddy. Hey folks, you know we talked about the high visibility line in this technique. Something that goes hand in hand is a good pair of polarized sunglasses, because when you look at the line through the polarized glasses, and I've got the Haber vision, I tell you the line really jumps out and it's much easier to see than not having them on. Hey Kelly, can you say double?
Uh-oh.
Kelly, I've got a nice fish on here. This thing is, Kelly, I got another one back here.
Uh-oh, triple up. Let me get in the line.
Now folks, this is what long line trolling can be. We've got 3 fish going. I've got 2 out the back. Kelly's got 1 up front.
Mine's a little small one here.
Boy, that back one's pulling, but this is a decent fish too. I know Kelly's tied up, so get that one in. And now we'll get this pole, folks, because it's still going good.
Still on there?
He's still on there.
That's good. It's the first triple of the day.
Now, Kelly, this is one thing. When you got 3 going, sometimes you will get lines tangled there.
Yeah.
There we go.
A little bit better fish. About all 3 of them were the same size.
There we go. That one there, folks, is just about a 10-inch fish. Not a real big one there. But the other one we had was pretty decent. We'll cut that loose and go back to the other one that we had. And he, again, on the old Roadrunner head with the Southern Pro Hot Grub. Good combination. Another real nice fish there.
That's good fish, good keeper fish there.
Hey folks, earlier Kelly was talking about using your GPS to get the accurate speed for when you're long lining. Another thing, if you're hitting a long straight path and you hit one area that's holding a lot of fish, make sure you keep an eye on your electronics and try to find out why those fish are concentrated in the area. You know, earlier we fished a little ditch that held fish. Sometimes it could be an underwater hump too that holds them, and that'll help you locate those fish and to see why they're there. He's swimming where he wants, ain't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
Fish.
I believe that's another one for the Roadrunner there.
Yeah, another one on the Roadrunner jig head. It's a real good fish right there. We probably averaged about 11.5, 12-inch fish this morning.
Well, Kelly, you haven't mentioned my excellent net skills yet.
You're doing a real good job back there.
Good fish, buddy.
All right, appreciate it. Hey folks, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the setup we was using today. Me and Russ long line trolling. We started out with 6-pound Suffolks in the high visibility green, and we was using the Roadrunner 1/16 ounce jig head with a spinner on it. And you hear a lot of people talk about the troller's knot or loop knot, and it's real famous here on Weiss Lake. I'm going to demonstrate how we do it, and it works real well. You just run the line through the eye, get you about 10, 12 inches, double it over, and all we're going to do is do 2 double overhand knots. Run it through it once, come through the second time, and we're just going to pull that loop down to about 1/2 to 1 inch, and then we snip off that excess line, and then you got a loop knot or a troller's knot. And you want to watch and not try to get that too long. If you do, it's going to cause your drub and jig head to spin, so you want to keep it to 1/2 to 1 inch loop knot. Hey folks, you know, Kelly talked earlier about the setup we were using. Once we got on the water, we did a little experimenting, trying to find out what colors was going to work best. We started out with jig heads, a plain jig head, and also the Roadrunner. It seems like the majority of our fish came on the Roadrunners, and the bigger fish definitely came on them today. Some of the colors that worked real well for us, and Kelly said they're always a good one on Weiss. We've got the June bug and chartreuse, the black and chartreuse, and then this one here is a blue and black hot grub. And then the best one for me anyways was just the plain blue and chartreuse hot grub. The action on that tail is awesome when you're long line trolling. You add that little blade from the Blakemore, and I'll tell you what, it was a deadly combination today. Well, Kelly, I appreciate you sharing tips on long line trolling today. Yeah, I appreciate you coming down. We had a good time today.
This is a pattern that if someone's just starting it out, it's pretty easy to learn. Yeah. Again, especially here at Weiss, look for some of the boats, get in that area, yeah. Experiment with what you talked about today, yeah, and the folks can catch them.
Yeah, like we talked about, just hunt those little bays off the main river, and you're going to find the fish.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you for coming down.
Long line trolling is very productive in the spring. Remember to keep your speed between 0.8 and 1.0 miles per hour. And using high visibility line helps keep you tangle free.